So yeah, so what we're going to walk through today, and Nadeem, do you have everything set up on your screen already that you're able to share your screen?
Yeah, I'm all set up.
All right, perfect. So what Nadeem is going to do is he's going to run through some various kind of scenarios. So one is setting up a campaign leveraging your landing pages. So for anyone that was watching, Addo did have that. He's in the process of creating a specific landing page similar to the Nosy Neighbor, but more centralized around the COVID situation that we're all encountering at the moment. And so learning how to do that. So that skill could be used for any landing page, really. He's also going to show you the same skill if you've got a listing that you want to share on social media and run some ads to, or boosting the post, the difference between running an actual full ad and boosting a post. And then for those of you that are leveraging the AgentLocator lead gen system and the automated lead gen site is showing you exactly how to set up an ad on Facebook to drive traffic to that page, essentially, or drive through the lead forms to set leads from Facebook automatically up to receive listings and automatically have those leads generated, enter into your CRM system automatically instead of you having to download them. So as Nadeem is going through all of these, if you guys do have any questions, by all means, just let us know. We'd be happy to answer them for you.
Yeah, okay, let's begin. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, do you see my screen? Is everything good?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, perfect. So I created this account in Facebook for this purpose. So like Crystal said, I'm gonna walk you through basics, like how to create a campaign, what kind of types of campaigns we have, what's good for what, how to boost your post, generate leads online, and yeah, how to leverage your landing pages. Okay, so now I don't know what's your level of knowledge on Facebook, but the question I got pretty often is how to actually create a campaign, right? And what most people do is they're not really aware of the business manager in Facebook, but they try to create a campaign or ad on their Facebook page, which you can do, but it's a lot better and a lot more detailed to do it in business.facebook.com. So this is basically a platform from Facebook for creating campaigns, creating any advertising content. And it's really cool because it gives you a lot more options in the types of campaigns, a lot more detailed targeting, and so on. Okay, so yeah, also if anyone has any questions, just write them down and we'll go over them. And yeah.
Can you show everyone how they would access that ads manager? So first of all, you cannot do this on a profile page. For any of you guys that are watching, you have to have a business page on Facebook. But if you could show them how they're going to access this,
yes,
that would be great.
Okay, so it's business.facebook.com, right? And once you go in, you're gonna see an interface like this, right? So it's kind of in two sections, right? So this bit of overview of this. First section are your accounts, really. And the second section are the pages you have access to. Now, page is directly related to the campaign you're using, right? So once you type in your browser business.facebook.com, you're gonna see this, and then just navigate to your business account. In this case, that would be this one. So, and yeah, once you click, you're in. And that's pretty much it. So the URL is business.facebook.com. You go in, you select the account, your ad account, and you start creating. Okay, now let me show you how to create a campaign. Right now, once you're in, and it's pretty straightforward. It's really easy to use. You shouldn't have any problems with it. So once you're in, you just click the create button, right? Let's name our campaign. Okay, wait, this is a quick creation. Let me show you guided creation. Right, okay, this is more detailed, right? So these are all the types of campaigns we have. right? So there's brand awareness, reach, traffic, engagement, app installs. You're not going to need these ones. Video views, lead generation. This is by far the most powerful one on Facebook, especially for real estate. And I'm going to tell you why. Yeah, there's in messages, conversions, catalog sale, and traffic. Now we're gonna do lead generation. Okay, now why is the lead generation good? Uh, well, because it gives users the option not to go away from scrolling their feed, right? So when they see an ad, they click on the ad, and a form pops up asking some fairly simple questions like name, email, phone number, and once they submit it, they continue scrolling their feed because most of the people on Facebook, and I could go for myself, right? When you're on Facebook, you're just there to see what's going on, to catch as more info as you can. So then nobody wants to really stop doing that and go to some random website, fill out the info, and get lost in it. And that's why lead gen is really good. Okay, so we've chosen the type of campaign, which is lead generation. We're going to name it. Now, when it comes to naming convention, always try to name it so that you can understand it later. Because at one point, you're going to have tens of campaigns in it, and you want to have a clear naming structure in it. Okay, so let's do for this exercise. Okay, so we're going to do let's say a buyer campaign in Milton, right? Lead generation. Okay, now set up ad account. Yeah, he's gonna ask me to put in okay, this is this page. Yeah, sorry. Since it's the new account, it's asking me to put in billing information, which I did not do. Sorry. Okay, let's start again, right? So buyers, Milton, lead generation, right? We're gonna choose auction. It's always auction. Traffic, not traffic, but lead generation. Page is gonna be, and I have create a page for this purpose, right? You're gonna ask me to accept the terms. Ad set name. When it comes to ad set, it's good to put in what you're targeting, right? So demographics or age or the location itself, right? So I'm gonna put in, let's say, Milton buyers, ad name, and save draft.
So when you create those ad sets, Nadeem, correct me if I'm wrong, once you've created an ad set, you can use that same ad set over multiple campaigns if you wanted to.
Well, yes and no. Yeah, yes, in terms you can copy and paste it. You can basically duplicate it. But yeah, you can use the same structure, the same settings across, I don't know, 100 campaigns or so. Yeah, but ad set is the most crucial part of the structure because this is where you actually select your targeting. This is where you define everything, right? Okay, so we've chosen our Facebook page, good, daily budget, and I was talking to Crystal earlier, and yeah, we noticed that some of our clients tend to make a mistake by choosing instead of daily budget, go with a lifetime budget. Now, this is a great option if, let's say, you're really busy, you don't have time to go in on a daily basis to check it. And if you say you have, I don't know, $200 for, you have a $200 budget, right? You don't want to go a cent over it, then you choose a lifetime budget, you put in 200, and Facebook is not gonna spend a cent over it. But why is daily budget better? It's because this way you can actually control how much it's spending on a daily basis, right? Let's say, so 200 a month, that would be around 666. And you know, every day it's gonna spend $6.66. Uh, yeah, but and also if you have a stopping clause, you can select your campaign to end on a specific date. So this is why I would always choose daily budget over lifetime, because like I said, lifetime budget just spends your $200, but like this, if you have 200, you put in daily of $6, and you can schedule it to end in a month. So
Same idea, just a different way
yeah,
of formatting it,
yeah,
essentially. It's kind of like how Google, you guys have, if you guys are running ad campaigns on Google, you set your budget and Google doesn't go over that daily budget, is essentially how we're doing that.
exactly. Okay, so now that we set our budgets, now we go over to audiences. Now this is really cool. Okay, so we said Milton, right? Yeah, this is by default. Okay, so Milton, Canada, right? We're not gonna do radius. Okay, ages, let's say, I don't know, 32 years to 65 plus. All genders, yep. Detailed targeting, this is important. Now, this is where you include or exclude interests. Right now, you can choose from, I don't know, let's say, education level, financial level, like first time home buyers or newlyweds. And this is where you exclude. And what's most important with these ads is to exclude other realtors, right? So let's see what. All right, so we would exclude anything related to real estate, right? Okay. Again, interest, which one to include or exclude, it's really up to you. What do you want to target? What's your preferable audience? And like I said,
And yeah, just so you guys are aware, the interest, if you guys haven't done this, is reflective of what those people tend to engage in while they're on Facebook. Are they engaging in real estate? Are they engaging in, articles that about education or have those higher educations, things like that. So you kind of get to pick the target audience based on their interests, or social status, things like that, that may assist with placing those ads in front of the correct audience.
exactly. Okay, so after the interest, now placement. And this is actually where your ad is shown, right? I always use automatic placements because you give Facebook the option to choose for itself where to place your ad, which is actually a lot better than to do manual placements because you really don't know what's going to work and what's not going to work. Yeah, Instagram. This is something I wanted to cover also. Instagram is an integral part of Facebook. So once you create a campaign on Facebook, it's automatically going to run on Instagram. So all you need to do is to have an account on Instagram and to connect it to your Facebook page. Once you do that, all the ads are automatically going to Instagram. They're basically the same platform. Okay. After this, now optimization and delivery. This really you can actually skip this. It really that doesn't. It's just, let's say you don't want to pay over, I don't know, $1 per click, and if you have a limit on the cost per click, then yeah, you can put in cost control, but it's recommended not to put it in because you're not gonna give it 100%. Like, it's not gonna be optimal, right? Okay. Now this is the ad set. So like I said, it's pretty straightforward. So all you need to do is choose your page that's going to be associated with your ads, choose your budgets, and choose your audiences.
So we have a question from Jeff here with respect to the target. Is it better to have a target audience to be more specific, or something that is just a more general audience when you're running these ads?
Okay, now that depends on the industry, right? Now, of course, you want to make it as specific as possible, right?
Okay.
But unlike Google, where Google is actually intent based, right? So Google filters them down like they're really specific. So if someone types in, I want to buy a house, chances are they want to buy a house. Now, Facebook is more emotionally based. So even though if you filter it out, if you narrow the audience down, it's still going to be a lot broader than Google, right? But then, like I said, it all depends on the industry, right? For real estate, you don't want to target real estate people, and so on. And this is actually where you can see your audience definition. As long as this is in the middle, it's good, right? This is the optimum. Once it tips over to the right, it's too broad, and you want to do whatever you can to narrow it down. Now, this you could do this either by narrowing the location or by tampering with the ages. Okay, see now it was 51,000, now it's going to be 59,000. Or by interests, including or excluding. The more you exclude, the more you narrow it down. The more you include, it's broader, and so on. Okay.
And one thing I've learned in the past is if you are creating those specific targets based on interest, is trying to limit it to 3 of them. Because as you're running ads, if you have a really great ad, let's say that's running as you're watching and you want to use that same audience, or tweak it to improve, if you have too many requirements on there, you don't know which interest is actually the one that's performing, that's creating that ad to create amazing results. Because some of them could actually not be doing anything for your ad, and some of them could be is what's encouraging that ad to perform so well. So knowing and understanding which one is actually working for you is easier to find and kind of configure in your back end if you have like a lower amount of those, so kind of like 3 or less kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, and yeah, the by far the most coolest part of this are the custom audiences. And this is done. In order to do this, you gotta install the Pixel, Facebook Pixel on your website, which tags every user that goes to the website. And then in the audience tab, which is located in the menu on the upper left, you go here and click on audiences. That's where you define or create your custom audiences. That could be people who signed up, people who didn't sign up, people who spend X amount of time on your website, and so on. And this is really good for remarketing. But yeah, it's let me. I'm going to show you later on real quick just how to go in the audience tab and so that you're at least familiar with the interface. Okay, now that we've set the ad group, right? Now we're going to move on to the ad. Now, the only difference, and I'm also going to later show you how to create a campaign that would drive traffic to your landing page. But the only difference between lead generation campaign and a traffic campaign is in the URL. Whilst in the campaign where you would drive traffic, you have a section for the URL, right? In the lead generation, instead of URL, you have the form. Okay, now let's set it up. We've chosen the page, single image, right? Okay, now you want to type in the text. Now, when it comes to the text, you got to be really careful because Facebook in the past few months have done a lot on improving their privacy policy. And a lot of those things really don't make sense. And they tend to disable the account or disapprove the ad for no apparent reason. So what I've learned so far is go easy on the emojis. The more emojis in the ad, the higher the chance you're going to be disapproved because Facebook considers it a spam. Right, so let's put in something. Okay, now let's see, houses by Milton. Sign up now. Now you can put in whatever you want. There's no rule that says, I don't know, shorter ad is better performing than a longer one. I've seen ads with a really long text that had amazing performances, and I've seen ads with like 2 sentences that also have an amazing performance. So what's important here is just to be clear in the messaging, to tell people what it is about and what they're going to get. Right now, headline. Okay, so this is how it looks. Right, headline is here. Houses in Milton. Yeah, call to action. Right, sign up. You can choose what best fits your ad. After that, we come to the form. Now, right, you wanna also, like the same thing as with naming your campaign, it's really important to be clear in naming your forms, as you're gonna have hundreds of them, right? And when you go to integrate the form, so by default, they all have this title, untitled form, and the date, right? And if you have 50 of them, they're all gonna have the same. The only difference is gonna be in the date. But when you go in your CRM to integrate it, it can be a bit confusing as to which form you want to integrate. So always be clear in the naming. And what I recommend is to name your form so that the name of the form is the same as the name of the campaign, right? We said buyers in Milton, so it's going to be buyers in Milton, right? Intro. Here you describe what it is about. So buying houses in Milton or houses for sale near you in Milton. Here you tell the people about your service actually. So what you can put in here is like, fill out the info. We will get back to you soon. We'll send you a list or listings of houses near you and some stuff like that, something similar, right? This is the question area. You choose which questions you want to ask. Right, so by default, it's always email full name. Now, category, right, okay. Now what we want phone number. And yeah, you can ask them anything really, like what was their street address, their city, what's the best time to call them, what's the time frame they were looking to move, and stuff like that.
How many questions would you kind of max that out at for best results?
Okay,
like
so
the three are the standard ones, but in addition to those three, what would you want to limit that at to? Because again, people aren't going to want to sit there filling out a ton of questions. So what's most effective? Like one additional question aside from their contact info, or two?
So I wouldn't go over 5, as I think in 5 questions you can really get everything you want to know, right? And that's name, phone number, email, and some additional information that's going to help you with your initial call. Yeah, but yeah, you're right. The more questions, and if you have like 20 questions, people are going to get bored. They're just going to quit.
Okay.
Right, so yeah, that's it for privacy policy. Now we want to, yeah, this is something Facebook requires. Okay, so let me just, you can find it on your website. So if you go on your website, scroll to the bottom on the footer, you're going to find the privacy policy like this. If you click on it, just copy the URL. And you have the thank you screen. Thanks, you're all set. Your info has been sent. And this is where you give them 3 options, right? You give them the option to go to your website, but whether or not they go to your website, we really don't know. There are ways of tracking this in various analytics tools. The other option is to download. Now, if you have a PDF or a newsletter or a white paper that you're giving out, sure, perfect. This could be like a hook in the ad. I don't know, like sign up now and download this free PDF guide. That's when you choose the download button. And the third one is called business. Now, which one performs best it's really the same, right? I mean, you have their information anyway. So you're going to call them. Why not send them to your website? And website link. And that's it. Wait, intro. All right.
So Nadeem, someone had a question here. So when we are using an ad set that is not utilizing the lead form and we're putting the website address in that's showing up in the ad, do you find it's better to have a generic URL like findyourhome.ca or something that's branded that indicates that it's the realtor? So like local.com.
Yeah, that's a good question. Now, to be honest, I would go with the generic one, right? Now, if you tailor your ad to be specific, like let's say you're advertising houses in a specific part of Milton, I would try to have the URL as close as that definition as possible. So if you can filter out on your website all the houses in the area you're advertising in your ad, put it in. If you want to use branded URL, then I would suggest only to use it if your ad is a brand ad. If you create a campaign, if you create the ad that's really advertising your business and yourself, then yeah, use your brand URL. Everything else, try to be as specific as possible. So if we're advertising houses in Milton, I would use the URL for listings in Milton, for example. I hope that answered the question.
We will find out, but yes.
Okay. Yeah, and this is it. Everything is set. So we've created our first lead generation campaign. We've defined all the targeting. We've created the ad, and we hit publish. Now I can't hit publish because I haven't entered the link information, unfortunately. Yeah, but that's it. So once we click publish,
so Johan has a question, just a second. So he just wants you to explain that again. But Johan, what I think he's referring to, so if you're doing a generic ad, let's say where you're trying to drive generic traffic or generate leads that are looking for listings in Milton, trying to have more of a generic web domain would probably be best in that scenario. Now, if you are a strong influencer in that area, or it's more or less like a listing service or something to do about yourself and the services you offer, then by all means, you're going to want to use your domain, your branded domain. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so always really use what you're advertising. If you're advertising for various listings or inviting people to buy houses in certain areas, use the URL that sends them to that. If you're advertising your brand, then use your brand.
And correct me if I'm wrong, if you are creating an ad that is driving traffic to your website, let's say you're using the Homework page, for example, you don't have to display a URL, do you?
What do you mean display?
So you know how the ad set will say like www.whatever once you're sharing a website? Like if it's a link to a website, it'll ask you website URL to display. Do you have to display a website URL?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think so. But yeah, let's find out. Okay, let's create the same campaign, but this time it's gonna send people to a specific landing page, right?
Yeah.
Landing page traffic. Okay, so now instead of lead generation, we're gonna use traffic. Auction stays the same. As said, we're still gonna go with Milton, right? 32 plus. Add 1. Okay, now. All right, here it's asking us where do we want to drive traffic to, website, app, messenger, or WhatsApp. Yeah, you can do WhatsApp. So if you click on the website, budget we set 200 a month. open. Right, targeting we're going to exclude. Okay, now placements automatic, like we said, and we move on to the ad. Now you see everything's exactly the same as when we set up the lead generation campaign, even the ad. So the only difference is right here, right? So here now, instead of create a form, we have the website URL. All right, so we're going to send them here. Yep, that's it. And is this what you meant?
Yeah, so we have the display link. So I guess that's what that would be. So can you put anything there, or does it have to actually be a URL that's connected to your website?
No, this is actually optional, right? So you can put in anything really. Let's see. How this in. Right, see, it's gonna be right here. Now, this is where you can utilize your brand URL if you want, right? Because display link really doesn't mean anything. It doesn't do anything. It's just something that the users see. And if you have a name that's well recognized in real estate, this could actually be helpful, right? So you're still gonna be sending them to a generic URL, like at the moment we are sending them to homework, but you can put in nettingrealtor.com, right? So they're going to see my name, but when they click on it, they're not going to go to my brand new website, but they're still going to go to the generic. Now, this is kind of like a trick to utilize your brand if you have a strong brand in a generic campaign, right? And the same, we choose call to action, learn more, and that's really it. So it's exactly the same as it would be setting up a lead generation campaign. The only difference is in the website URL. So instead of creating a form, we have a URL.
And so you can change, just so those watching, you can change the media. So right now it's that black homework page. Facebook, when you are running these ads, give you like a magnitude of images that you can definitely take advantage of.
Yes.
Whether it's your image because it's your listing, or if you want to look through the images, the stock images that Facebook has for you guys to be using.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so you just click on media. You can add from catalog, add a video, or add an image, right? You can upload from your computer or use what they have in stock. Now, at the moment, because this is a testing account, and it's not really connected to any pages, and I just created it like an hour ago, it's why it doesn't have a wide variety of images. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you can put in whatever you want. You're not really limited to an image. You can do a video. So everything stays the same, but the only difference is that instead of an image, you upload a video, or you can do a carousel. And carousels are really good for single property listings, right? Now, if you have a property that you want to advertise, that you want to sell it, again, the campaign setup, everything's exactly the same, right? The only difference is that if you would have a single property, instead of a single image, you would use a carousel, because you want to showcase the property and you want to show the users all the amenities and whatever it has, right? Now you can put in up to 11 images, I think, which is really good. And these ads have, at least in my experience, have proven to be really good with single property listings, right? So you choose the best images you have, you upload them, and everything else the same. You have your text. Okay, here is it. Ah, yeah, here it is. Now, when it comes to single property listings, when it comes to the text, what you want to do is you want to describe it as much as possible, right? You want to put in everything that the property is offering. What's the benefit of moving to the property? All the amenities the property has. Again, you don't have to limit yourself to a specific number of characters. The text can be as long as you want it, as long as you describe the property well. Okay, and you want to put everything in there because that's the first contact user has with you or with your property is actually the ad. So you want to make the ad as appealing as possible, and you want to give them all the relevant information they, they, they need, right? And ad is actually one of the filters now. Someone has asked earlier, is it better to have a more specific audience or a more broader audience? Now, even though you define your audiences on the ad group level, ad is the final filter, right? Ad decides whether a user will go and submit the data or it will continue to scrolling down their feed. So the better the ad, the better the result, meaning that
You want
if you
people to
have,
click on it, right? So it's got to be
yeah,
intriguing. It's
yeah,
kind of like your property descriptions when you guys are creating those.
yes, thank
You
you.
write those in a format that pique interest. So the same thing goes with this primary text is you want it to pique interest. We can still throw emojis in there, right? So sometimes having a couple of little emojis to draw the eye there
Yes, yes,
could definitely help with that. But yeah, it's just more or less think about yourself as the audience. What would make you click on that ad?
yes, yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Uh, and yeah, that's it. So setting up the campaign is exactly the same. The only thing that is different is the objective. So if you choose lead generation, you gotta create a form. If you use a traffic one, you gotta put in the URL, and that's it. You click publish, automatically the campaign goes in a review process. Once it's approved, and that usually happens in the first couple of hours, you're good to go.
And Nadeem, how long would you say? So after someone goes, okay, launch my ad, we're good to go, it launches, how long should they sit and watch that ad before they make any judgments as to the performance of the ad? Like how long should it run for? How much advertising dollars should they spend before they jump to those conclusions?
Okay, now that's a really good question. It's I would say at least a month before you could be able to draw any solid conclusions, because once the campaign is approved, it goes into a learning process, and this can take up to 3 weeks. And in this time, Facebook actually is figuring out who to serve the ads to, and although you will see performance in this period and you will see leads coming in, uh, the performance actually gets a lot better after the campaign exits the learning period. So as the time goes by, you should see better and better performance of your campaign. So I would give it a month before making any decisions.
Okay. Perfect. And then another question I'm just going to ask you, or actually suggest, is likes. So a lot of us, and understanding, Facebook, we all know that if you post something on Facebook, doesn't mean all your friends see it, right? There's all different algorithms in place. Same go for your Facebook pages. So
Yes.
just because you have, 250 likes or 2,000 likes, doesn't mean that all those people see your posts on Facebook. So
Yes.
advertising can help with the algorithms, but also doing little boosts. And Nadeem will show you. Boost, what we say is, like what I've done in the past, is $1 a day boost. You run it for 3 days, you boost it, you just create a normal post that you would on Facebook and you boost it for 3 days. It's to cost you $3. Like it doesn't break the bank, but it builds up the audience and you have more people engaging in those as well. And you can also create a likes campaign on Facebook. So a likes campaign does actually perform better, just as Nadeem had mentioned, where Facebook is in a learning phase. So after those 3 weeks, you could actually start building your page likes just through a campaign that is encouraging people to like your page. And then in the last webinar, there's a recording where I found it. So when people engage on your post, you can actually invite them to like your page. So if you share a post and it's about a house you have for sale and someone likes that post that they don't like your page, you can invite that person who liked that post to actually like your page as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, okay, let me show you how to boost a post. Now, yeah, it's exactly what Crystal said, right? If you share something on Facebook, doesn't necessarily mean that your audience is going to see it, no matter how much likes you have. And yeah, it's due to the Facebook algorithm. And this is actually like the more active you are on Facebook, the higher the chance someone has to see your post, right? So, but if you post something in a week or once every couple of weeks, chances are slim that someone relevant is going to see it, which is when you actually do the boosting itself. And boosting is a really good way of reaching out to people beyond your likes. Right now, this is Agent Locator's page. This is a post about the webinars. It was, yeah, on March 26th, so that was 4 days ago. So when you create a post, any kind of post on Facebook. So uh, you'll have this blue button, boost post, on the bottom right. So if you click on that, this appears, right? And this is where you actually define your targeting, who you want to target with your post. Add a button, learn more, okay, choose a link for this button. We want to send them, because this is a webinar, right? So we want to send them to the website. People you choose through targeting. Now this is where it's exactly the same like on the ad group level in Facebook Business Manager. So you choose here target area, demographics. You can target only people who like your page, people who like your page and their friends, people in your local area, right? You choose the budget. Yeah, you can do $1 a day, and this is really cheap, right? So for $7, you can run for 7 days, and you can have a really decent result in terms of the reach itself.
So you guys, in kind of connection to last week's webinar where we were talking about creating those blog posts with respect to current events or real estate in the areas that you target or whatever it may be, when you share those blog posts to your Facebook page, a good idea is to boost them. Get them in front of a larger audience, and even if it's only going to cost you $5 a day, anyone that engages in that post is going to be brought into your website. So that those $5 that you spend for 5 days, it could actually go quite a far distance.
Yeah, exactly. And even though you might not see some results, when I say results, I mean lead submission. It's good to have your blogs out there. It's good to have a wide pool of people reading it, right? Because even if they didn't sign up now, they might sign up in 20 days or in a year or something, especially if your guys are doing blog posts. Yeah, boost them. You want to bring people to your website. You want to get users to reading your blogs, and it's actually really good for SEO as well. So yeah, if you're doing blogs, post them, boost them, definitely.
And then what would you say is more, I guess more effective? So let me just read this quiz. Is boosting posts a more or less cost-effective ad spend than a unique ad that you create?
It depends on your goal, really. So if your goal is to get actual leads, then don't boost posts. If you want to generate leads and bring quality traffic to your website, when I say quality, I mean someone that's actually going to see the listings and submit, then do create the ads with it right here, right? But if you want just to get exposure, then boosting is the right for you. right option, right? If you want to get the news out there, or if you have an event or an open house, then yeah, boost it. You want to fetch as wider pool of people as possible. If you want to generate leads, then do it in Business Manager. So it's all
Perfect.
up to the goal.
Perfect. And so if any of you guys, I imagine most of you all have business pages, but if you don't have business pages and you're just creating one, you want to really kind of get that page going. So adding a bunch of articles to it, do little mini posts, like, you know, for a few days with some of those articles before you start running any kind of major ad sets. Facebook can be funny sometimes and actually shut your page down if they think that you might just be some sort of bot that's out there phishing, just looking for people to give their information, you know, all those people that ruin it for the rest of us. So you have to kind of build that rapport on Facebook that you are adding content, not just adding articles that have been shared. So share content on your Facebook page in the very beginning should be limited to 1 or 2 shares a week, meaning you shared from like the National Post or shared from realtor.com, you know, onto your business page. The rest of it should be your unique content on Facebook at first, do a few boosts, then run an ad set, because you don't want yourself to get kind of this black label in the eyes of Facebook that you're just phishing and looking to scam people and grab their information and all of that. So seasoning your Facebook page basically is what you want to do, because the last thing you want to do is be too aggressive and have your business page shut down, because it happens to a lot of people.
Yes, it does, unfortunately.
All right, so we kind of went over those 2 things. Is there anything else you want to add in there? So the likes campaign, if any of you guys are doing it, when you're doing a simple likes campaign, it's a lot different than an ad. You're not putting together this whole full-blown ad. It's basically, you've probably seen them come across your Facebook feed where it says like page. One thing that works well if you guys are doing that is, I think I had an ad set running a long time ago for another page that I run, and I think I had my budget like $1 a day, but I just had it running like with no end date in sight kind of thing. And then likes were coming in at about 5 cents a like eventually as the longer it ran. So one thing that's encouraging is having something that is going to attract the audience that you want to like your page, right? So kind of have something that is kind of reflective of what your page offers. And then in the little description, have something that encourages, you know, like my page to receive real estate updates and how of home values in Milton, for example. So you almost have to tell the person to like my page to receive, and then the reason why they're going to like your page. So short and sweet and to the point. And that will help, because some people, even though it says it's a likes campaign, you have to tell them to like it. It's kind of bizarre, but we do have a question about what kind of ads do you guys think are best to place during these times? What kind of concept? So Nadim, you have, we still have active campaigns still running on Facebook. Has anyone come to us recently with respect to the changes in the industry and kind of changing their target or how they're running their ads?
No, we still haven't had any of those requests.
Okay.
However, I had a meeting on Friday with our Facebook marketing expert manager, actually a guy from Facebook that I meet up with once a month, and he gives me all these industry insights. You know, we actually talked about the situation at hand and what to do and what not to do, and he actually told me like, this is a good time, as bad it is to say it, because everybody's actually indoors, right? And it's a good time for lead generation. However, the only tricky part is when doing sellers, right? Because people don't really want to move. It's tricky to do an open house, to do a listing. So when it comes to sellers, yeah, there is a lack of performance. But what is good to do is to do a virtual open house, right? So if you have a specific listing, do a virtual over Skype or Zoom or virtual tours. That's what people want, and that's actually what works, and it's a good option to do now.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah. And so Addo, just so you know, Johanna, Addo is creating, so if you have our branded website, you have all the listing alerts, landing pages, homeworth landing page, that sort of thing. And so what Addo is actually doing, and he was hoping to have it done by Friday, it's not as simple as it looks from the outside in creation going on the inside. So he is creating a page similar to Street Match, and it's more reflective on how is COVID affecting your home value, right? So it's getting those people, because that's going to be a lot of concern with individuals that do own houses. Is it's their largest asset, right? It's their largest investment, and what is this current situation going to have? Is it going to have a toll on our home values? So running an ad that's kind of similar to that, either driving them to the homeworth landing page or driving them to Street Match, because Street Match is essentially going to send them listings in their neighborhood. So as those listings go up, they're able to stay informed with respect to that activity, so they can see what home prices are doing, or the homes that are going up for sale around them, which are likely going to have the most impact on their home value. So they can kind of see what's happening with that. So that's a great ad set to run. If you guys are doing blogging on your website, create even a category or blog post with reflecting, right now what's happening in the industry with respect to real estate and how it's affected. Obviously, we all don't know the answers. Write the answers that you do know. Or if you see an article, as I mentioned, that is already put together for you, just recreate that article, dumb it down, put it in your own words, reference the original article. So if someone wants to read the full article on whatever site you got that info from, they can. But then that would be a great post to boost, right? So if you have a blog article, let's say, on how do you show a house during COVID, like it's just like simple tips for showing homes during, like, a lot of places you can't show homes anymore, but just hypothetically thinking, you just put that in there and boost that, because people may be interested in that as well. Or if you see an article that you're recreating and you see that so many people are sharing that article, then boost that article. Because if you've dumbed it down and people keep sharing it because it's got valuable information, every time that article gets shared, even if you're running a campaign or boosting that post, that's increased in the audience just that much more. And you'll be able to look at those analytics in the business manager on your Facebook page. You can see how many people are engaging or visually seeing that ad. So it's great to kind of do that. So Nadim, is boosting a post more cost effective than actually creating an ad?
Again, it all depends on your goal. What do you want to achieve? Right. So if you want to do lead generation, then create an ad. If you just want to reach people, then boost a post.
Perfect. And so Johan, Street Match, you might only be on, not only be on, but might more or less be on our lead gen system, if I had to guess. So let me just pull up your site here quickly, and I'll just take a look here. And there you have it. So you have the branded website. So within your branded website, Street Match is in there. So under your sellers tab, you'll see Homeworth, and you should see Street Match as well. So that page there, what it does is people put their address in, and whenever a new listing comes up in their area, it'll automatically send them the listing details on your behalf. So it's coming from you. You'll be able to see their activity. So it's a great way to nurture your seller leads. So people that are just curious about selling their homes, it's a great thing to put them on. If you call a buyer lead and they just purchased, they're a buy a loss essentially, but why not nurture them on that listing that they just purchased? Keep yourself top of mind, you might get the next one. It's so when you guys can go door knocking, it's a great thing, to offer those homeowners when you are knocking on those doors, as something to offer. Because everyone's a nosy neighbor. We consider it nosy neighbors Street Match, and so really everyone's a nosy neighbor. When the neighbor's house goes up for sale, they often go online to look to see what it's listed for. Street Match just takes that away, essentially by you sending them the listing details, so that they don't have to do that anymore. So let me just see here. So we got that. So Trish, Trish Riswick here has a question, and I'm not quite understanding it. Maybe you might understand it, Nadim. Can you create an ad from a Facebook post so the likes and views live on your Facebook feed? I know what she wants. She wants it so that, like, if let's say you have a post and everyone can see how many people like that post, but it stays on your Facebook page, so people can actually, that are going to the page, can see all the likes and everything.
Yes, yeah, you can. So that's actually boosting, right? So when you boost it, that's actually it.
Okay, so that's how you would do that. In that essence, is you would boost that one post that you created, and then you'll be able to, everyone gets to see those likes that are happening on there.
Yeah.
Perfect. So yeah, Hannah, I do like your suggestion here about placing a button that says request a live home video tour. That's great. I'm actually going to pass it on to, I will pass it on to Otto, actually. He would probably think that. And that's something that even you could request to do. It's not like something that is extremely difficult to do. So if you guys want to have something like that, we can definitely add, that onto your websites. But I'll see if there's a way that we can actually do it so it stands out a little bit differently, or it's on the actual listings and things like that. But I will most definitely mention it to him. Now, does anyone, Nadim, is there anything else that you want to add in here that everyone should be aware of, or?
No, I think we covered pretty much everything. So yeah, just to recap, creating a campaign is, so we went over creating a campaign, and no matter what objective you choose, the setup is the same, exactly the same. So you can choose from traffic, likes, lead generation, and so on. So just be careful in the ad itself. Don't use too many emojis. Like don't stack them up, like to have 5 in a row, because Facebook might consider it a spam and they might disable your account.
So less is better in that case.
Yes.
Perfect. Anything else? I've got a couple more questions that I have. So do you have anything else you want to add? Okay. So first question is, does it make sense to turn your ad into a post, then boost it? So to have both running. So basically you have an ad running with the specific, whatever it is that you're running. Maybe it's a listing, or you're trying to get buyers, or what have you. And then also have it created as a post on your page and then boosting it. So having the two essentially ads running at the same time.
Yeah, that's a good point, but it depends. Like if you're doing a single listing, if you create an ad for a single listing, and then definitely you want to post it on your wall, right? But if you do a buyer campaign, then it really doesn't make much sense to put it on your Facebook wall because of the messaging, right? So you don't want it to say like buy homes near you and stuff like that. You want to keep your Facebook page professional, right? And you want to put only relevant stuff.
Perfect. So Alex says, can you elaborate on how a website pixel works for audiences? Because that is one of the questions that will come up on here. So how does that all work, Nadim?
Sorry, how a website?
Pixel. The pixels, so the Facebook pixels,
right.
that you're throwing into your Facebook.
Right. Okay. So I told you we'd cover this. Right now, when you create an account, right? So if you go to the menu on the upper left, you can find the pixel right here. And this is just a piece of code that you forward to your developer, or if you actually created a website with us, we can install it in seconds, right? So this is actually our pixel. Tracking people going to AgentLocator website, right? So you just put in new data source, Facebook pixel, and this is it, right? Pixel name, you want to name it, and you put in the URL of your website, and that's it.
And then when
you
you
have
continue, there'll be a script, and that's the script that
yes,
we need to put into your website. So if once you get that script, you just email it to support@agentlocator.ca, and they can throw it on there for you. And then
yeah.
how does that connect then? So Nadeem, when they are running an ad then on Facebook, then and somebody's engaging, let's say they're registering, whether it like, so let's say they're going to the homework page. Does
Mm-hmm.
then the tracking on the Facebook, so when you're in the business manager, is it telling you how many conversions you're making then? Is that the whole purpose of that pixel? Or what is the...
Yes, yes and no. So Pixel, yeah, it's there to tag people, so that you can easily track them and differentiate which pages they visited and on which pages they actually converted. And yeah, if they go to homework, you're gonna see if they converted on homework and how many people converted on homework. But you gotta create the audiences. So in order to create them, so we go again on the menu on the top left, and under assets, we go to audiences. All right, okay, so these are the audiences the Agent Locator has, right? So you want to click create a custom audience. Right. And this is where you create it, right? So you can do customer list if you have an email database. Let's say if you have 1,000 emails from your previous customers, you can upload it, create an audience based on that. Website, we're going to choose website because we're doing a pixel. So, and this is it, right? Add people to your audience. So we want to include people who meet any of the following criteria, right? We can create all website visitors. We can create people who visited specific web pages in the past 30 days or in the past 90 days. It's really up to you. And you put in the URL, right? So in this case, it would be agentlocator.ca/contact us, let's say, for example. You name it. People who visited contact us page. And you hit create. And then you can use this audience later on in targeting, right? So you can target specifically these people. So your ads would be targeting only people who visited contact us landing page. In regards to what you said earlier about knowing if they converted or not, you're going to need to use an analytics platform. Google Analytics is by far the best. In there, you can segment it by landing pages on your website, and you can see exactly which page brought in how many traffic from which source. You can actually see everything.
Perfect. Yeah, so that's useful, I guess, if you guys are doing this and you've been running all these ads and you're driving traffic to your website and you have that pixel and you want to pull everyone that's actually engaged in your ads to just remarket to those people. Right, so it's kind of like your like tag marketing essentially, right? The people that engage in your website keep seeing your advertisements all over the internet. So this is the same idea where you can create your custom audience reflective of the people that actually have engaged in your marketing effort. So so kind of just putting there in front of them. Do you use your customer list to create a lookalike audience?
You can, yeah. So if you have a list of past buyers, you can upload it and create a lookalike based on that.
Okay. Perfect. And I think that is it for questions. So for all of you guys, I think we're like right at the hour, I think almost right to a T here. Oh, 2 minutes over. If you guys have any questions with respect to any of this, just reach out. You can reach out to myself. It's crystal@agentlocator.ca. If it's Facebook related, I don't know if Nadeem, you want your email out there, but I could be happy to forward off anything to Nadeem. He's going to be able to help you with the guys with that. And then what was I going to say? This is being recorded. Okay, so it is being recorded. It can be a lot, especially in the beginning when you're looking at the ad creation. Once you figure out the Facebook ads, though, it really doesn't take that long. It's more or less trying to figure out what you want to say on your ad. That probably takes the most time once you figured out how to do it. And so these are tools that you can really utilize and leverage for anything that you're doing, whether it's real estate related or not. And so if you do have any issues while you're trying to implement this, just let us know. The recording of this should go out tomorrow. I'm not sure if you guys got the other one, but if you didn't get the other one, you will definitely get this one as well as the one from last week. And I believe we have another webinar coming up on Friday. I don't recall which one that it is, but we are trying to give you guys the tools so you can leverage what you guys currently have with Agent Locator while you have a little bit more time on your hands to do so as you're not running out showing properties. So thank you all for joining. It was great having you all on here. It was great, Nadim. Thank you so much. I think a lot of people probably benefited from this. And yeah, I would like to see. So in our Facebook group, if you guys start doing any of these actions, so whether it's logging and boosting or creating ads, like share with everyone the success that you're having, or if maybe something didn't work. Let's all help each other, kind of get to where we all want to be, which is, leveraging and doing, great successful things, whether it's, actually showing homes or using the marketing platforms that we have. So, because we can all help each other out, right, during these trying times and get through it together. So Sarah, it is Facebook Agent Locator Clients. Is what the Facebook in here. I am just going to put it in the chat. You will have to, wherever my chat went, there it is. You will have to request to join in there because it is a private group. And so we do all of our live streaming is in there. People like questions answer, all that sort of stuff. There is questions that you have to answer. I don't like digging to make sure that people actually are part of our group. Like it's very basic questions like, what services do you have? And are you a part of a team? Who's the team lead? Like it's 2 questions. It's not a big survey or anything like that. So if you can just answer those questions, then I know exactly that you should be allowed into that group, and you'll get like entry in, fairly quickly. So yeah. Thank you all for watching, and if you guys need anything in the meantime, just let us know. You can also contact our support team, support@agentlocator.ca. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Nadim.
Take care. Bye.
Take care. Bye, guys.